Alright guys, we're on day 9 of July 2016 and already got a little bit of a haul going. So I figured I'd go ahead and show it in case anything else pops up. Because there's a few more flea markets popping up, I'm sure. There's yard sales all over the place if I get time or get out of the house. And there's a RobCon, which is a comic book convention in Bristol, Virginia, right on the Tennessee-Virginia line. That's going into its 30th or 35th year, and it's going to be at Viking Hall. It's the last weekend of the month. I'll probably put some stuff on eBay and get a little money on, to go to it and check out some things. It's usually a great show. So I'm going to show what I got thus far for the month of July. Try to get some of this stuff organized. Okay, so this is a VHS, Blu-ray / DVD comic book haul. And I'm trying to figure out where to start here. What can we show first? So I think I'll start with what I got this morning. There's a place called the Shot Tower down here. It's right off the side of the 4-lane. I'm not sure. I think it's in Wythe County. And I think it's some kind of Civil War tourist place you can go to. An authentic tower used for the Civil War. And there's a little valley down there, and you can look down on the side of the road when you're traveling down I-77 on your way to North Carolina. And they had a flea market, so I went down there and walked around. And I've hit this flea market a couple times. You can actually go back and look at my video from last year, and that was the year I got some amazing comics for $2 a piece off a guy. It was stuff like the first appearance of Gambit, that famous Incredible Hulk 340, I think, where it has Wolverine with his claws, and you can see Hulk's. Todd McFarlane drew it, and with Hulk's face in there. And the year before that, though, a bunch of other comic books in there and stuff. It was quite the event. I was very happy. Got them for $2 a piece. But the year before that, there was nothing. Yet the year before that, there was something else. So I've gone to this thing off and on for years. So this year, there's a couple of boxes of comics out there, some short boxes of stuff. Nothing I really needed. One other guy had a whole bunch of stuff, and it had rained last night, and it actually looked like his stuff was raining. And I know the guy from the flea market and a few other places that was at that particular lot. And he just kind of looked over at Worcester Beam and was saying he sold $90 worth of comics already. I got down there by like 9 or 9:30, and the flea market hadn't started until 8 o'clock that morning. So I don't know. Anyway, but as I was walking around looking at stuff, not a lot of comic books at all. But there's one, and there was DVDs and people selling stuff everywhere. But there's this one particular place where I heard her talking to another lady. And the people that were running this little booth, and I heard all DVDs, everything is $1, season sets are $2. I'm like, surely not. And I go over there, and they had season sets of like Brady Bunch and a few other things, Family Guy and classic TV shows and stuff, and they were $2 a pop, and all the rest of the stuff were $1. And I didn't really ask a lot of questions because a lot of this stuff is unopened. So for $6, I got this little stack. And this is The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. DVD, Blu-ray, ultraviolet little package here, unopened, brand new, okay, $1. So I grabbed it. I don't think The Hobbit should have been, get some glare. I don't think The Hobbit should have been 3 movies, but there's bits and pieces that I've enjoyed. Then I got this. It was thought it was just a book, The Rocky Horror Picture Show. It is, but it's also the 35th anniversary edition Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is in the back, so I was real happy to find that. Okay, and it's got this spectacular movie in a little book. I've been doing Rocky Horror Picture Show since '93. I've dressed up as Riff Raff and Eddie mostly. I think one year I was a Transylvanian, and one year, just some of my friends, dressed up with what we had, and who knows. So little hardback. I thought that was very cool. So yeah, and what's funny is I don't even have a Blu-ray player. I'm so freaking retro. I'll have a Blu-ray player probably when the Blu-rays are replaced. Okay, unopened season. And I know this isn't probably the first issue because it's in a plastic case, but Firefly, Joss Whedon's Firefly. I've heard people just brag on this. I watched the first 2-3 episodes when it came out. I was not impressed. But everybody's still talking about it years later, so I finally get to give it a shot, give it a try, see what all the fuss is about. Okay, then I got this. This is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, Mad Monster Party. I freaking love this. I had this on VHS. I've had it on VHS twice. It seems like I may have had it in DVD at some point in time. I don't know. I doubt it. But no, just VHS. But I love Mad Monster Party. That's Boris Karloff. They got a little puppet looks like Anne Margaret, and this is done by Bashkin. Let me see if they're on here before I run my mouth. Got it wrong. Rankin and Bass. These are the guys that did the wonderful and traditional Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stop animation specials that they've shown for decades and stuff. Well, this was their Halloween special, so this thing is just fantastic. Gothic and creepy. And then I was really happy to see this because I thought this was something I would never own. I had to watch it pirated on the internet when it came out to make sure that I got to watch it and stuff. But this is a DVD, Blu-ray, and a bonus DVD of An Adventure in Space and Time, okay? This is a little TV mini-movie or something that the BBC made, which is brilliant. It's the origin of the Doctor Who TV show. And it's the, of all times, to go blank on who the first Doctor Who was, but it's also his story. And I remember that somebody was cutting onions by the time I got to the end of the movie. Let's just put it that way. Very touching, very well done, very respectful. And the bonus DVD is An Unearthly Child, which is the first story of Doctor Who, which was also done brilliantly. Okay, so I was just so happy to find that. That was released with Doctor Who's like 50th anniversary or something like that. I don't know. That still doesn't sound right, but anyway. Okay, so then I hit a Goodwill. Work has me going all over the place, all over Virginia and all this stuff with work. And every now and then if I get a lunch break or something, I'll have a minute or two to check out, see if they have a Goodwill or something like that. So I got these at a Goodwill, okay? We'll continue with the DVDs, but I got like this great big huge expanded edition or something, big 2 to 3 disc set of The Sixth Sense. If that's showing up, and M. Night Shyamalan's and stuff, and I still consider it a classic, and it was really cool to get this. I have it on VHS already, but I'm not passing it up. That was $2.50 at the Goodwill, so I got that. There you go, Bruce. All right, and then I got these. These were 50 cents a piece. We'll go real quick here, man. We got Bachelor Party. Yes, it holds up. Very raunchy, very funny. Pretty in Pink. You got to love your John Hughes films if you were any kind of child of the 80s, or you'll have to turn in your 80s card. That's all there is to it. Everybody should love Ducky. Okay. Then I got this. Okay, I love my Mel Brooks History of the World Part 1, and I'm alright having this on VHS because I kind of thought this was one of his weaker movies. I mean, I'm not bashing it. It's funny. A lot of people like it. I can do some quotes from it and stuff, but he never came out to Part 2. It's a joke if you know Mel Brooks, okay? And then, of course, I had to get this. I watched this as a kid. This was in my house thanks to PBS and all of my stepdad and his friends and stuff like that. And I could not imagine not ever watching anything by them, anything like this. But I remember watching this. This was recorded on old VHS tapes and stuff, and I didn't get to watch it now. But it's and now for something completely different. This is where they took some of their best sketches from their TV show, and they got some production value and kind of made like a mini movie. I have no idea if this was released in theaters back in the day or anything like that. But this has Dead Parrot. This is I'm a Lumberjack. This has all the ones about the gangs that were popping up in England and stuff, like the baby gang, the old grandma gangs, the nanny gang, whatever. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. It's got the military joke where they, instead of doing a cadence, they kind of do a show tune. Funny stuff. All right. Then at the Goodwill, also got this for $1. This is the first volume of Scholastic's, the Scholastic edition of Bone, where they collected, I think there was like 8 or 9 or 10 of these. I have all of them on the corner, but I actually bought this. It was going to originally be, first thing that popped in my head was reader copy, because I just, love this series. Now, as you can see in here, it's a black and white series, but they colored it in this, which I think is brilliant. I can read it either way, but I do prefer the color. I can't help it. But anyway, this was originally going to be a reader's copy, but I think I have a friend who I'm really sure they're going to dig it, so I'm going to give it to them. Alright, so then, oh yeah, at the flea market. How could I do this? Going back to the flea market stuff I got here with the DVD and stuff, I saw this and I thought it was like kind of a statue, right? This guy had like a whole bunch of, he had like not a whole bunch, but it would probably fill a desk full of comic book stuff, but it was not comic book stuff. It was, like a Batman alarm clock. I've seen this stuff at like Warner Brothers stores and FYEs or something, but they were wanting to get rid of it. And I really wanted to get some of that stuff, but I'm like, what am I going to do with a Batman alarm clock? What am I going to do with a Superman alarm clock? And it was the old-timey one where it had the bells on top and stuff. Then I saw this thing, and I thought it was just like a mini statue. I said, how much? He was $2. I picked it up. It's plastic. He's got a stand, Justice League. I'm like, I'll take it. Well, I get home, and I look at this, and, you know, he comes off the stand, which didn't surprise me, but I started looking in there. I don't know if you can see this. Right? And there's an on button, and you listen to this. That's a motor running, and there used to be a propeller here. This thing is spinning, and then there's a hook. So this is something you put. Yeah, this is a toy that actually spins around. You probably hang it from a fish line or a wire from your ceiling, and he'll go in circles and stuff. So I'm going to look around the house, and I'm going to end up making a makeshift propeller and stuff. It's not really. It's really not that hard. We used to fix our toys and come up with different ways to use them when I was a kid. So you know, not a big deal. I want to put him beside of you know, General Ursus here. Well, not General Ursus. Yeah, it's General Ursus. Good enough. Alright, so that was kind of cool to find. Now, I'm going to do a rant video. Might be uploaded today, might be tomorrow, but I'm going to shoot it after this. And in that rant video, it actually was finally really sparked with a lot of things leading up when it comes to what's going on with comics and stuff, to going to my friend's shop. A D&J Hobby Shop. You can look back at my older videos, and I have tales from D&J Hobby Shop. And he was always complaining about diamond and stuff, and what he's done is that at D&D Hobby Shop, he does World of Warcraft stuff and model kits and the supplies for that, and you know, he does comics and back issues. And what has happened? He had a combination of things happen. Number one, the Marvel books, DC books, you know, DC 52, Marvel Now, and all the stuff that's coming out. People were stopping buying comics anyway, and then when they did get something, it was kind of digital. So he said that kind of hurt him. And then Diamond Distributors, he's had problems with them for years, so he finally quit Diamond. And he says, what I've been saying on this channel for a while by going to comic book conventions and flea markets and seeing things and stuff, back issues. He now has found a company where you can buy back issues by the pound, and they'll have themes of what the comics will be. They'll have a mix in there and stuff like that. You know you're not going to get any major keys, but you get some good runs. And I went through his stuff, and this is what I found. Okay, I got these for $1 a piece. This is from ordering from a company. He's had boxes and boxes. I went through them, so I got these for $1 a piece. Got a bunch of Deadpool from the 90s. You know, the Joe Kelly, Ed McGuinness run and stuff, right? And then, of course, you know, they're going up there. And what is funny about this Joe Kelly run is over the last 6 years, I have gotten 2 complete sets of Deadpool of this series and turned them around and stuff, man. So here we go again. These will probably go on eBay, so I can go, you know, have some money for this convention coming up. This is Deadpool number 8. All right, number 25, Dead Reckoning Part 3. 34, a monkey issue with 36, and they go all the way up to, oh no, they're out of order. Well, here's number 22. I gotta get these things in order if I'm going to do this with a little cable. Oh my goodness, number 24, very much out of order. Shame on you, Tim. Howlermouse. Shame, big shame. All right, they go all the way up to issue 50 now. That I got my crap together. It's 37, where he's messing with Thor. And, you know, I was talking with Matt Comic Recorder last night, and, you know, we've heard tales about Rob Liefeld, how much you'll probably, there's been places where he's charging people $60 to sign anything with Deadpool on it now. And, you know, we were talking, and, you know, he really needs to, like, cut that check for Joe Kelly and, Ed McGuinness too, because Deadpool was nothing until this series. I actually had I've had the first issue of Deadpool probably about 3 times. It's a horrible comic. It really is. I know it's a key issue and it's a first appearance, and that's why I've never really craved it or ever regretted it. And I actually turned down one about 4 or 5 years ago. It was $12, and I just was like, oh, this is awful and all that stuff. But you know, this series is the one where he blew up. And as bad as that book was, New Mutants number 98, with his first appearance and stuff, it still blows my mind to have been a collector at the time when that book came out. and seeing how that book is blown up and how much it's worth, and it's a real head scratcher if you were there. I mean, it's a bad art. Louise Simonson was doing what she could. You know, she really, you know, brought a little integrity to it, but it was really not a big idea. I kind of like this one here. I don't know if I'll put this on eBay. Deadpool, it's issue 51. So, yeah, there you go. There's just some of that. And then he also had boxes of 10-cent comics. He had 2 long boxes of 10-cent comics. So I took a chance on a few things. So I wanted to see where Saga was at. I sold all my Saga around issue 7 or 8 when, spoilers, when the Stalk was killed, and I heard she's back. So I just went ahead and sold them back in the day. And I did the same thing with Fables. I had like the first 40-some issues of Fables when it came out. I started at number 1 with that and followed around. And when I found out who the adversary was, I was like bullshit and got rid of it. Get to check out this Nightbreed. I'm a Nightbreed fan. My buddy Tim Anderson is a huge Nightbreed fan. He's got more of the comics, but I got some comics from the Epic line and a trade where they put some of those in there. So now I get to see what Boom Studio has done with them. So took a little chance on that. Got 2 issues of that, and these were a dime. Yeah, a little Nightbreed. Okay. And then had this one, little Miracle Man number 15. This is a Neil Gaiman issue, so you know, check, you know, reprinting the whole series. All right, so then, like I said, my work has me going places, and there was a mall that actually had a card show, and I got both of these for $1. I got Batman Cacophony number 2 by Kevin Smith and Walt Flanagan's dog. Then I got this for $1. Amazing Spider-Man annual number 16, which I think is the first appearance of the new Captain Marvel back then. And then I was up in, I can't remember if I was in Staten or Winchester, but I got Staten, Virginia. And there's an antique shop right beside where I was eating my lunch, so I walked on over there, and as they had comics, went upstairs, and I couldn't believe what they had. They had all these Bronze Age comics and stuff. And I didn't have a lot of time. I didn't have a lot of cash on me because they didn't take a check card and all that stuff. So ended up just grabbing a few things. I think I had like $7 in my pocket, so I got a deal for these. And there's one missing. Anyway, I got the Monster Frankenstein number 4 for the great Mike Plugart. I've got this in trade, but I'm always picking up random issues. I got number 1 and a few other things over here. Then I got Anthro number 1. I don't remember what that third comic was. I'm actually missing a comic that I did not bring to the hall, so I have to stick it in the next one. But I got Anthro number 1. I think this is from 1966 or 68. Let me take it out of the bag that they had. I got both of those. I think these came to $7 with that third book. I had a third book, but I got a deal where it was $7. But Anthro, the Last Boy, I can now put this beside of my number 1 of Commandy, the Last Boy. So I have the first boy and the last boy. I have the Alpha, the Omega. You know, kind of cool. I like some of these fun little quirky books. And I always go for the K. You know, if you got a K-Man in a book or you got a Bigfoot in it, I'm there. You know, you go primitive on my ass. I'm so there. This is from 1968. Yep, Howie Post. And of course, the very first issue would be called Battle of the Sexes. So, who knows? Yeah, great stuff, man. And Grant Morse, man, I loved what he did when he did Final Crisis because he actually had Anthro meet Commandy. And that was just, Final Crisis was just cookie cutter made for me. But that's a whole other video. Alright, guys, that's it. Thanks a lot. Keep collecting. See you later. Sayonara. Ciao. Bye.